Hello children, today we are going to see one of the most interesting poems, Leisure. This poem is written by William Henry Davis. Students, let's read the poem. The title of the poem is Leisure. First stanza. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows. No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. No time to see in broad daylight streams full of stars like skies at night. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this if full of care. We have no time to stand and stare. This poem is written by William Henry Davis. Students, let's see detailed explanation as per the stanza. As we read this poem, we realized that this poem contains 7 stanzas. Each stanza has 2 lines, and we know that when stanza has 2 lines, that is called couplet. This poem contains 7 couplets, it means 14 lines, and we know that when poem contains 14 lines, that poem is known as sonnet. It means this poem is a sonnet as well as a rhyming couplet. Just as we know that in this poem there are used 7 rhyming couplets through the 7 stanzas. Now we are going to discuss tone of the poem. It means what is the tone of the poem. The tone of the poem is serious and analytical, reflective poem. Let's examine theme or central idea of the poem. The central idea of the poem is the poet regrets that ours is a poor life if it is full of cares and worries, and we have no time to appreciate and enjoy the beauty of nature. Students, let's go through the text. First stanza is, what is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. As far as poet's opinion is concerned, that our life is too boring and very poor because it is full of cares, it is full of anxiety and stress, and we don't have time to see towards the beauty of nature. First and second line, both lines are the examples of alliteration because from first line initial sound I is repeated and from second line initial sound yes is repeated. Here, from the first couplet, poet wants to ask question, what type of life we are leading if we have no time to appreciate the beauties of nature? Let's examine second couplet. No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows. Boughs means the branches of a tree. In the second couplet, the poet says that we have no time to stand beneath the trees and stare as sheep and cows do. To stare means to look. It means cows and sheep, they have time to see towards nature, but unfortunately we don't have time to see towards nature or towards the beauty of the nature. First line from second couplet is the example of alliteration because initial sound B is repeated. Second line of second couplet is the example of interrogation because question is asked. The poet asks a question to emphasize and stress upon the fact that modern man has no time to appreciate nature. As well as this line is the example of simile because here is a direct comparison has been made to sheep and cows. Rhyming words from 2 couplets, care, stare, boughs, cows, Rhyme scheme of the two couplets A-A-B-B. Students, let's understand third couplet. No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. In the third couplet, poet says that there are a number of beautiful things present in the nature, such as squirrel. Squirrels hiding their food in the grass, and that was a very beautiful experience, and we must watch that experience. We must watch that thing. Moreover, poet says that when we are walking through the woods, we have no time to watch where the squirrels hide their food in the grass. Here, the poet wants us to spare some time from the busy schedule to look at the beauty of nature and enjoy it. Here, from the third couplet, the first line of third couplet is the example of alliteration because initial sound W is repeated. And second line of third couplet, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass, it is the example of interrogation because question is asked in this line. Rhyming words from this couplet are pass, grass. Rhyme scheme of this couplet is CC. Students, let's learn fourth couplet. No time to see in broad daylight, streams full of stars like skies at night. Here in this couplet, the poet says us, we have no time to look at streams. Streams are sparkle and twinkle in broad daylight, but unfortunately we could not see towards them because we don't have time to see towards them. Moreover, the poet says that streams appear to be full of stars, like the skies at night. Here the poet says that twinkling and sparkling streams are very beautiful things and we must overlook them. Streams full of stars like skies at night, it is the example of simile because here is a direct comparison has been made to the night skies. The rhyming words from this couplet are daylight, night. Rhyme scheme of this couplet is DD. Students, let's understand fifth couplet. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they can dance. In this couplet, poet says that we have no time to watch when a beautiful girl dances or wait for her lips to complete the smile which started in her eyes. We can also say that the beauty is nature and we have no time to see trees swaying in the breeze or flowers blooming slowly. As far as poet's opinion is concerned that beautiful girl is a nature. It means nature is compared with beautiful girl and we don't have time to see towards beautiful girl. It means we don't have time to see towards beautiful nature. So many beautiful things are in nature, but due to our busy schedule, we don't have time to see towards them. In this beautiful nature, there are many flowers, those are blooming very slowly, and due to the breeze, that flowers and trees, they are dancing along with the breeze. Students, look at the first line of this couplet. No time to turn at beauty's glance. This line is the example of personification because the nature has been given the human qualities of glancing and dancing. As well as this line is the example of metaphor because here nature has been implicitly means indirectly compared to a beautiful woman. Rhyming words from this couplet are glance, dance. Rhyme scheme of this couplet is EE. Look at the next couplet. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. Here poet says that we don't have time to see towards the beauty of nature. Enrich the smile her eyes began. It is the example of metaphor because here the blooming of flowers has been indirectly compared to a woman smiling. Rhyming words from this couplet are can, began. Rhyme scheme of this couplet is yaf yaf. Second line of this couplet is the example of interrogation because question is asked by the poet to give the greater poetic effect. Students, let's understand last couplet. A poor life, this if full of care, we have no time to stand and stare. Here you might be thought that poet has used this line again, we have no time to stand and stare, because poet wants to focus that line so that you could see towards nature. Here in the concluding lines, the poet repeats that our life is very poor. It is full of stress, anxieties, worries, so we don't have time to appreciate and enjoy the beauty of nature. But one must enjoy the beauty of nature because it is incredible. Though we have busy schedule, but we must spare some time from our busy schedule to look at the beauty of nature, and we must enjoy the beauty of nature so that we must protect the nature. Rhyming words from the last couplet are care, stare. Rhyme scheme of this couplet is GG. In this way, today we have seen this poem. Students, you have to read this poem again and again and try to understand. Thank you.